Good day everyone, my name is Mae Guimbaleña, and for today I will discuss the chapter 14, the insurance law. There are products that satisfy the protections and investments needs of the market. Learning objectives enumerate items that can be insured by the tourism establishments. Identify the rationale behind the concept of insurance. Explain the different kinds of insurance and identify the advantages and disadvantages of having insurance. Topic outline. First, introduction. Second, definition and concept. Third, insurable interest. Fourth, insurable interest in group insurance. Fifth, insurable interest in property. Sixth, beneficiaries. 7. Fire, marine, and third-party liability insurance. 8. Fire insurance. 9. Compulsory motor vehicle liability insurance. And 10. War risk insurance. Insurance is very useful for companies engaged in tourism industry because there are many kinds of risks and enterprises where investments oftentimes is quite substantial. By way of example, an employer may subscribe to a group insurance for his employees as part of the employee benefit program. Companies utilizing building structures for the operations of their hotels, restaurants, and other tourism-related establishments may think of investing in property insurance against fire or earthquake to protect their investments. Lastly, and investments in marine insurance, they usually practice among companies engaged in the transportations of cargoes at sea, may also be worth looking an insurance code now referred to as PD 1460 or Presidential Decree 1460. In case of the latter's deficiency, the provisions insurance contracts are governed by the insurance law or PD 612, which instituted the Civil Code of the Philippines govern. Definition and concept. The law. Section 2. 1. A contract of insurance is an agreement whereby one undertakes for considerations to indemnify another against loss, damage, or liability arising from an unknown or contingent event. So, a contract of insurance as defined as Section 2 of the Insurance Code is a legal agreement which one party, typically an insurance company, agrees to compensate or indemnify another party for loss, damage, or liability that may arise from uncertain or future event. So, this agreement is made in exchange for considerations which refers to the payment of premium by the insured. The main purpose of the contract is to provide financial protections and security against potential risk or unforeseen events such as accidents, natural disasters, illness, or theft. The event being insured against is considered unknown or contingent because it is uncertain whether it will occur. In essence, insurance services as a risk-sharing mechanism, giving individuals or businesses peace of mind that they will receive financial support if an unfortunate event occurs. Discussions of the law. The essential elements of an insurance contract are A. Insurable interest. B. Existence of risk. C. Assumptions of such risk by the insurer. D. Said assumption being part of a general scheme to distribute actual losses among those bearing similar risks. E. Payment of premium. The characteristics of an insurance contract are A. Aleatory. There is an element of risk. An aleatory contract is one where the obligations depends upon the occurrence of an uncertain event, or as in the case of fire insurance, or one certain to happen but an indeterminate time, like death in life insurance. B. Contract of indemnity. There is an exchange of value for value, particularly in property insurance. C. Onerous. There is a valuable considerations given or payment of premium. D. Bilateral. Both parties are bound to do something. E. Formal. As to form a policy is required to be issued and a premium must be paid. The parties is an insurance contract are A. Insurer, a person, partnership, associations, or corporation duly authorized to transact an insurance business. B. Insured, a persons with an insurable interest who stands to benefit from a policy of insurance. In its strict sense, the insured party is the owner or purchaser of the policy, even though benefit of the insurance may occur to someone else. Beneficiary, a person designated by the terms of the policy to receive the procedures of the insurance policy upon the happening of the event insured against. It is the person named in an insurance policy as the one to receive proceeds or benefits occurring thereunder. Insurance contracts may refer to the following: life insurance and insurance on human lives, and insurance appertaining thereto or connected therewith. Fire insurance, which includes loss by fire, lightning, windstorm, tornado or earthquake, and other allied risks, when such risks are covered by extensions to fire insurance policies or under separate policies. Marine insurance, a contract whereby one of the considerations agrees to indemnify another for the loss or damage on a certain interest subject to marine risks by a certain perils of the sea or specified casualties during the voyage or fixed period. D. Personal accident insurance, an insurance which provides pecuniary compensations for expenses or losses of income brought about by death or bodily injury arising from violent, external, visible, and accidental means. An insurance contract is considered a contract of adhesion in which almost all the provisions have been drafted only by one party, usually the insurance company. The only participations of the other party is the signing of his signature or his adhesion. In this regard, such contracts are to be construed liberally in favor of the insured and strictly against the insurer in resolving all ambiguities against the latter. Insurable interest. Law, Section 10. Every person has an insurable interest in the life and health. A. Of any person on whom he depends wholly or in a part of education or support, or in whom he has pecuniary interest. B. Of any person under a legal obligations to him for the payment of money, or respecting property or services of which death or illness might delay or prevent the performance. Section 13. Every interest in property, whether real or personal, or any relation thereto, or liability in the respect thereof, of such nature that a contemplated peril might directly damnify the insured, is an insurable interest. Section 14. An insurable interest in a property may consist in an existing interest, inchoate interest founded on an existing interest, the expectancy coupled with an existing interest that out of which the expectancy arises. Section 15. A carrier or depository of any kind has an insurable interest in a thing held by him as such to extent of his liability but not to exceed the value thereof. So, insurable interest refers to the legal right of the person to insure something or someone based on the potential to suffer or financial or personal loss if a particular event occurs. According to Section 10, a person has an insurable interest in the life, and health of anyone who financially supports them or from whom they expect support, education, or financial benefit. This can also include anyone legally obligated to pay the money or provide services which could be affected by that person's death or illness. In Section 13 and 14, extend the concept to property, stating that a person has an insurable interest in any property, whether real like land or personal like a car, if they stand to suffer direct loss or damage from its destructions or damage. This interest may be based on ownership, partial ownership, future rights or expectancy, or even responsibilities connected to the property. Section 15 clarifies that even carriers or custodians such as shipping companies or storage provider have an insurable interest in the goods they are responsible for, but only up to the amount they might be liable for. In essence, insurable interest ensures that only those who would suffer a genuine loss from an event can take out insurance on it. Insurable interest in group insurance. Any person so related to another, either by contract or commercial relation, may lawfully procure insurance on the other life. Thus, an employer may insure the life of the employee and vice versa. The primary aim of the group insurance is to provide the employer with a means of procuring insurance protections for his employees and their families at the lowest possible cost, and in so doing, the employer creates goodwill with his employees, enables the employees to carry a larger amount of insurance, and helps to attract and hold a permanent class of employees. A group insurance is essentially a single insurance contract that provides coverage for many individuals. It provides life or health insurance coverage for the employees of the employer. In order to validly claim benefits from the group insurance, employees must be actively at work and must have completed a specified period of continuous employment. Otherwise, the insurable interest ceases. Generally, group insurance have no forfeiture clauses, except for them insurance or provides protections for a limited period like 5, 10, 15 to 15 years. If an employee's group insurance terminates because he leaves the employee has the privilege to converting the group insurance within 1 month following the terminations of employment into any standard form of insurance, except for a term insurance. In property, insurable interest in property. In property insurance, it is important that insurable interest must exist when the insurance takes effect and when the loss occurs. In marine insurance, the owner of a ship has in all cases an insurable interest in it, even when it has been chartered by one who covenants to pay him its value in case of loss, provided that in this case the insurer shall be liable for only the part of the loss which the insured cannot recover from the charterer. The measures of an insurable interest in property is the extent to which the insured might be damnified by loss or injury thereof. 20. Any contract of property insurance that gives to the insured more than the indemnity against the actual loss that may suffer by reasons or designated perils in a policy which is contrary to law. Beneficiaries. The law. Section 18. No contract or policy of insurance on a property shall be enforceable except for the benefit of some person having an insurable interest in the property insured. Section 19. An interest in property insured must exist when the insurance takes effect and when the loss occurs, but need to exist in the meantime. An interest in the life or health of a person insured must exist when the insurance takes effect, but need to exist thereafter or when the loss occurs. So a beneficiary in insurance is the person who receives the benefit or payout from an insurance policy in the event of a loss. So in Section 18 of the Insurance Code, an insurance contract on property is one valid if the benefits someone who has the insurable interest in that property, meaning the person must stand to suffer a loss if the property is damaged or destroyed. In Section 19, explains that for property insurance, the insurable interest must exist both at the start of the insurance and at the time of the loss, but it does not need to exist in between. For life or health insurance, the insurable interest is required only at the time the policy is taken out, and not necessarily at the time of the death or loss. This ensures that the insurance contract remains fair and prevents people from taking out insurance on something or someone in which they have no genuine stake. Fire, marine, and third-party liability insurance. In Section 99, marine insurance includes, first, insurance against loss or damage to vessels, craft, aircraft, vehicles, goods, freight, cargoes, merchandise, effects, disbursements, profit, monies, securities, choices in action, evidences of debts, valued papers, bottomry, and respondential interest, and all other kinds of the property and interest therein, in the respect to, appertaining to, or in connections with any and all risk of perils of navigation, transit or transportations, or while being assembled, packed, created, built, compressed, or similarly prepared for shipment, for while waiting shipment, or during any delays, storage, transshipment, or reshipment incident thereto, including war risks, marine builder risk, and all personal property floater risks. Person or property in connections with and appertaining to a marine, inland marine, transit, or transportations insurance, including liability for loss or damage arising out of or in connections with the construction, repair, operation, maintenance, or use of the subject matter of such insurance, but not including life insurance or surety bonds, nor insurance against loss by reasons or bodily injury to any person arising out of the ownership, maintenance, or use of automobiles. See precious stones, jewels, jewelry, precious metals, whether in the course of transportations or otherwise. D. Bridges, tunnels, and other instrumentalities of transportations and communications, like excluding buildings, their furniture and furnishings, fixed contents and supplies held in storage, piers, wharves, docks and slips, and other aids of navigation and transportation, including dry docks and marine railways, dams, and appurtenant facilities for the control of waterways. Second, marine protections and indemnity insurance, meaning insurance against or against legal liability of the insured for loss, damage, or expense incident to ownership, operation, chartering, maintenance, use, repair of constructions of any vessel, craft, or instrumentality in use in ocean or inland waterways, including liability of the insured for personal injury, illness or death, or loss of or damage to the property to another person. Insurance, Section 167. As issued in this code, the term fire insurance shall include insurance against loss by fire, lightning, windstorm, tornado, or earthquake, and other allied risks when such risks are covered by extensions of fire insurance policies or under separate policies. So, fire insurance is a type of insurance policy that provides financial protections against loss or damage caused by fire. So, according to Section 167 of the Fire Insurance Code, fire insurance doesn't only covers fire-related incidents but also includes other neutral events such as lightning, windstorms, tornadoes, earthquakes, and similar risks. These additional risks are covered when they are specifically included through extensions of the fire insurance policy or under separate policies. So, the fire insurance helps individuals or businesses recover from damage or destructions to their property due to these covered events, ensuring they are not left with significant financial loss. Compulsory motor vehicle liability insurance. In Section 373, for purposes of this chapter, A. Motor vehicle is a vehicle as defined in Section 3, paragraphs of Republic Act numbered 4136, otherwise known as the Land Transportations and Traffic Code, as amended by the Presidential Decree 1455. B. Passenger is a fare-paying person being transported and conveyed in and by a motor vehicle or transportations of the passengers for compensation, including persons expressly authorized by law and vehicle operator or his agents to ride without fare, as amended by the Presidential Decree 1455. If any person other than a passenger is defined in this section, and shall also exclude a member of the household or a member of the family within the second degree or consanguinity or affinity of a motor vehicle owner or land transportation operator, as likewise defined herein, of his employee in respect to death or bodily injury arising out of and in course of employment, as amended by the Presidential Decree 1814. D. Land transportation operator means the owner or owners of the motor vehicles for transportations of the passenger for compensation, including school buses, as amended by the Presidential Decree 1455. E. Insurance policy or policy refers to a contract of insurance against passenger and third-party liability for death and bodily injuries arising from motor vehicle accidents, as amended by the Presidential Decree 1814. So, the insurance policy mentioned here is a contract that provides coverage for both passengers and third parties who may suffer injury or death due to the accident involving the insured vehicles. This kind of insurance is compulsory in order to promote accountability and provide protections for road accident victims. Compulsory motor vehicle liability insurance, Section 347. It shall be unlawful for any land transportations operator to operate the same in the public highways unless there is enforced in relations thereto a policy of insurance or guarantee in cash or surety bond issued in accordance with the provisions of this chapter to indemnify the death, body injury, and or damage to the property of a third party or passengers, as the case may be arising from the thereto, as amended by Presidential Decree number 1455. In Section 377, every land transportation operator and every owner of a motor vehicle shall be for applying for the registration or renewal of registration of any motor vehicles at his option, either secure an insurance policy or surety bond issued by an insurance company authorized by the commissioner, or make a cash deposit in such amount as herein required as limit of liability for purposes specified in Section 374. So, in section 374, this ensures that the victims of road accidents are protected and compensated. And for section 377, this rule ensures that every vehicle on the road is financially prepared for covered potential accident-related liabilities, promoting public safety and accountability. War risk insurance. War risk insurance is an insurance covering damage caused by acts of war. It includes coverage for war, hijacking, and related perils. Insurance have intended to withdraw liability coverage for weapons of mass destruction or WMD. A subset of war risk insurance, WMD, includes radioactive contaminations or dirty bombs, electromagnetic pulse devices, chemical or biological weapons. Coverage was subsequently provided at full policy limits for passenger liability but limited to a maximum of $50 million for all third-party injury and property damage. According to Cicero, the safety of the people shall be the highest law. Conclusion. This chapter 14 of insurance law explains how important insurance is for helping people and businesses manage financial risks. It discusses the main ideas of insurance, such as insurable interest, fairness, trust, and compensation. This chapter also talks about the legal rules that control insurance contracts. It is important for both the insured and the insurer to follow the responsibilities to ensure fairness. Understanding these rules help protect everyone involved and build trust in the insurance system. This chapter also explains the need for clear communication and honesty between the insurer and the insured. Both must share all important information to avoid problems with claims. It also talks about how insurance policies cover specific risks, and both sides should know the terms of the contract to avoid confusion. Lastly, the chapter highlights the insurance laws protect both the insurance company and the policyholder, making sure that claims are dealt with fairly. Following these laws help provide financial security and protection for everyone. So that's all for my report for chapter 14. Thank you.